right, so 10a, we're asked to simplify this. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to simplify the numerator separately from the denominator. So it's like we're doing two little mini questions here at once. So this is going to look like this. I am going to want to get a common denominator. 6 has an x for a denominator and 2 just has a 1. So I'm going to multiply this 2 by x over x because I want a common denominator with the other term up top there, see? So the x over x, now I have a common denominator. The same thing over here, I want to make this an x squared on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply 1 times x squared here, make that over x squared. Then I have a common denominator on the bottom. All right, so if that's the case, then I can now simplify, again, continue to simplify the numerator and the denominator separately. I have 2x minus 6 all over x now, common denominator, make it one single term. And I have x squared minus 9 over x squared here now. Make that a common denominator. All right. At this point, what you might want to do is, well, I guess stating non-permissible values would come in handy pretty quick here. Obviously, this x can't be 0, so x cannot be equal to 0. And then this this term can't be 0, nor can this term. So this is an x equals 0. I already got that. For x squared minus 9, well, you might not know what those values are until you factor, but if you, maybe some of you can see ahead, this is going to be x cannot be positive 3 or negative 3. So that's what that's going to be. So I'm going to now flip and multiply. So I'm going to bring this, I'm going to just write it down here. So I'm going to rewrite the top term, and I'm going to show this as a multiplication. But I have to show it as a reciprocal. Okay? So I'm going to have x squared on top. And I'm going to have x squared minus 9 on the bottom. Nice. I have to factor yet. I haven't factored this yet. So let's now factor the top and the bottom for each rational that I see here. So this is going to be 2. I can pull a 2 out of there. It's going to be x minus 3. X is already simplified. X squared, we'll leave that as x squared. And this, of course, is x plus 3 times x minus 3, because that's a difference of squares. So I'm going to continue up here. But what I see now, I've got my restrictions noted. And see where they come from? X cannot be 0. X cannot be negative 3. X cannot be positive 3. So if you didn't see that before, you could see that now. And of course, x can't be 0 from this one as well, because this originally was a division. So I'm going to look here, and I'm going to say I have an x minus 3 on top and an x minus 3 on the bottom. And I have 2 x's on top and 1 x on the bottom, so this x is going to go with one of these x's. So I still have an x left on the top. So simplified here, I've got 2 times x in the numerator, and I've got x plus 3 in the denominator. These cannot be factored any further, and please don't do this. Don't say, oh, there's an x there and an x there. I'm going to divide those off. No, they're not factors, remember, because this x in the bottom it's x plus 3. It's not x times 3, so you can't take those ones out. So our answer then turns out to be this simplified expression along with those restrictions.